Right, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Chris Ogle, and this afternoon I've got Alex Murray with me. Hi, Alex.
Hi Chris, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. A few weeks since you've been around.
Yeah, it's now at the stage where it's kind of not quiet, but it's kind of I'm in a dip, so I don't have as much work to do for Monday and Tuesday because I've got a couple of exams in the next few days. So we don't have the typical classes as such. So I managed to take out a little bit of a break.
And how's the whole uni experience going? First semester and all that.
Tough, but it's what you have to do to get into the career I want to get into. If anyone doesn't know, I'm studying law at the moment, so every single solicitor has to go and do this and has to learn basic things about company law, property, litigation, and it's not some of it is not very interesting, but you need to know it just to give you a general overview of it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we all wish you the best with that. So,
I need more than that.
when do you finish?
The first term finishes around February time with about 3 or 4 exams, and then the next one starts pretty much straight away with 3 modules which I get to choose, and I've chosen ones that I'm more suited to, so that'll be better.
So, when do you break up for kind of the Christmas break, as it were?
I believe it's the 19th, so we only get a week really of the Christmas week, and then straight back. And I should have had a few exams over the New Year period, but I've deferred them because we're on holiday. So luckily I've deferred them into April, so it's less pressure on me. But it's just I've just moved the pressure to later on.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. Well, that's enough about you for the minute.
yeah.
We'll move on with some of the things that have been happening in the last week. And last Saturday we started off. We had a really quite intense and useful session down at the market. We had quite a few of the team there, and we were working on a few things. So the A6 Flyer, which we kind of were knocking into shape a bit, which I think is going to be quite useful.
Sorry, you called me out there. Yeah, it was a really good meeting. It's kind of some of the events when we don't have a lot of people are more useful in a way to strategize and take things forward. Because at a big meeting, if you've got 20 or so people there, it's difficult to get things done because you have to mingle, you have to talk to everyone there. But if you want to have a sit down and a plan, you need certain things. It's the event of the market is a great way. If there aren't many people there, it gives a chance to sit down with the core team of people and say, this is what we need to do now. How can we do it?
Yeah, and the A6 document is going to be quite an interesting one because the concept is that we can pass this to local business people, independent traders, also to people who are involved in charities, and it tells them a little bit about Link for Growth, but mostly about what we're really trying to do, what problems we're trying to solve, and those problems are about getting people to buy local, getting people to realise that they're there, that they exist, and how they can actually join in with us and actually raise their profile so people know about them. Because that's one of the I brought it up at a meeting I was at this morning. One of the big problems for all local organisations and businesses and charities alike is you've got a website. Well, who's going to find your website? Nobody. You send an email out to people, but it stops with the people on the email list because they're not going to forward it on to anybody. So how do you actually get your message out there? And you know, apart from using the tried and tested methods like the Watford Observer, whose circulation is going down and stuff like that, what other mechanisms are there for getting your stuff out there? It's quite difficult.
Yeah, you're reliant more and more these days on social media, and you're reliant on your customers finding you online. But then the problem comes. Some people of the older generation don't use social media and don't know how to do it. They've just started using a computer. So how do you go about finding people on there where you don't know how you're doing? And if you don't do it the right way, you're not going to, it's no use at all. You shouldn't bother. So it's that kind of, how do you get people doing it in a kind of an easy way? And we've got the community on there for buying local Watford. If we get them posting in there, we can share it easier because it's such an easy thing to share. We can do it on mobiles and stuff. it just becomes easier in one place, and you can search for different products. So you can, if you're looking for a local butcher, there's the food and drink section. If you're looking for a crafty person, this on that. It makes it much easier.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, what I was saying to someone this morning was that you sent me an email about a promotion. You know, what am I going to do? Email that out to my list? No, of course I'm not. But if they put that promotion into the buy local, anybody that's in there will pick that up, and then they can share that with everyone that's on on their wall or on their stream, and anybody they're connected to is going to see it. So ostensibly, you could get out to tens of thousands of people by posting one post in a place that's easily shared.
Yeah, it's almost a similar principle of the email. You have a mailing list. The mailing list is the group of people in the community. You put the message in, you sent it to 100. There's about 50 or 60 in the buy local one. You send it to those 60 people. They can then, if they see it beneficial, they can share it to their 50 or 60 people, how many they've got on there. So it's nothing different from an email marketing campaign, except you're not using an email, which is difficult to share, and not everyone wants to read emails and just get constant updates from local traders and stuff. Some people do appreciate it, but some people want maybe once a day, have a look at it, and then say, oh, that's quite interesting, I'll share that one, share that one.
Yeah, I mean, email is point to point. I send you an email when you get it. I can obviously have a list, but with social media, it's much easier. I don't have to forward the email on. All I've got to do is reshare it, add some notes, job done. So and I can also copy the link, and I can post it into Facebook, put it onto Twitter, drop it into LinkedIn. There's so many different easy ways to help people if they adopt some very simple strategies. And that's really, if you like, our task as the Watford team is to get them started, these traders and charities, but clearly over time maybe bring some students or people that are involved in, like younger people who maybe get this stuff a bit more, and start to bring them in and carry on that good work as part of their team.
Yeah, it'd be good if we could be the front team of doing the engagement, the initial on the doorstep. Yes, some younger people may want to, but they might not have the confidence, because it takes quite a lot of ability to kind of build up a relationship with people and traders. They want to trust you before they'll start implementing your ideas. So maybe some of them may join, but they can maybe a backseat the IT team doing the technical work, and we're almost on the front line selling it to people why they should be using it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, what else do we talk about actually, Timo? I know. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, because you've got something that you want to table tomorrow, because we're back at the market tomorrow again. By the way, if anybody watching this fancies coming down to the market, we're down there upstairs, Ray's kitchen, Elle's kitchen. Upstairs, we sit there outside. They've got some new tables up there, which are quite good. And we talk about what we're doing in the community and how we can drive things forward. So if anybody's watching or fancies coming along and meeting us and being part of that, then please do so. But tomorrow you've got something to talk about, Alex, and I've got a couple of things actually. One of them came to me in the bath the other night. It's
there's an image I didn't need to know.
One of those moments I thought, well, yeah, it's not ready as an idea. Needs some fleshing out, so to speak, but I think it's going to be quite interesting. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. There should be some good things coming up to talk about.
Can I just jump in quickly? I know a bit on the market. I know a couple of people. One is booked in tomorrow, and one I got a phone call from someone on Wednesday. I was in London, just walking home, and I got a phone call. So again, she working with young people, and just saw the event on the market and says, can I come along, and what's the kind of format? Most people don't know about the link growth format, which is, for anyone who doesn't know what link growth is, it's very informal. You don't do 60 seconds. You don't have to pay to come to a meeting. You buy your coffee. If you want a bacon sandwich, you can have a bacon sandwich. If you don't want anything, you don't have to have anything. And she was going to come along and get involved. So if you can bring the big banner tomorrow, that'd be good. Or the little A6 banner. A5 even.
Okay. So yeah, that'd be good. So she's definitely coming, is she?
Yeah, she phoned me, said, can I come along? I was like, yeah, hasn't booked in, but no problem. Again, if you just want to come along, maybe if we start bringing the banner, people will start, what is this? As a kind of, I've seen something going on here.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the things that we ought to probably do is mention what we're doing there on a Saturday morning. And of course, there are other people in other parts of Watford, other people doing great things. They might want to come along and actually put what they're doing on the table and say, have you got any thoughts on how we can help them with whatever they've got as an idea? So I'm quite keen to get that out as a concept as well.
Yeah, because I mean, we've got the Watford Reporter have got a lot of, we cover a lot of people, and there's about 8 or 9 of us, and they've got a very different array of sets. There's some IT people, there's a good couple of Diane and Catherine, the graphics people, you with the social media stuff. I've got obviously the legal background, which I'm not renting out my services just yet. I'm not, but we've got a wide range of people with a wide set of skills who can help people in different scenarios.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, it's so there's an open invitation there. So if you have got something going on and you want to bounce it off a few people, I mean, every single one of the people that Alex has mentioned there, every single one of us have got a very pro Watford. What can we do to improve Watford and the people and for the community and the businesses and the charities? It's all about how can we come together and help rebuild and grow Watford for the benefit of the people of Watford. So
maybe it's something, as you were saying, for anyone who doesn't know, it's the I'll spoil the surprise, but it's the shop buy local Saturday, isn't it? Next Saturday. Maybe it's something we can push.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, last night I put up the L4G Buy Local National Community on Google Plus. That will be a focal point for anyone around the country who's interested in participating in growing the trend of buying local and refocusing people's attention on people who are actually in business locally and doing more business with those people. So we've obviously already got L4G Buy Local Watford as a community, and anybody running an independent business is more than welcome to register themselves in there as their brand and talk about the things that they're doing. Because when you start trying to find people locally to go and buy things from, it's hard work. You can't find these people like the Scarlet Pimpernel. You can't get hold of them, and actually it's about making them more visible, and that's really what this is all about.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, last week, just to run through a couple of things, and then we'll get on to the community news, but the Cafe Loco on Monday, that's on Moore Park. This was last week, by the way. It wasn't a big event, but like I wrote a little piece, which I haven't put anywhere yet, which explains that for those people that are looking for maybe more people events at Link for Growth, we've got, if you like, our flagship type events, where there's 20, 30 people out, and you're more than welcome to go along and see what Link for Growth is about at one of those events. But if you're a little bit worried about going along and meeting a whole mash of people like that, and you want something a little bit quiet, a little bit general, you want to ease yourself in, and you don't want to go and like talk to thousands of people, you can come along to one of the smaller events that we run. And the idea behind this is we've got events of all different types, because some people like big events, some people like small events. We have to be able to provide a whole basket of events, so that there's something for everybody. And the one at Moore Park was quite cosy, but some really great conversations because of the intimacy of the events. And we had a similar launch today at Nash Mills on the Waterways Experience boat. So that was awesome, wasn't it, today? A fantastic venue.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first Link for Growth event on a boat, and as you say, yeah, there was 6 or 7 of us, but what it enabled us to do was talk to people for an hour and a half. I got there at 10, we left at about 11:45, and for the majority of the time there was 6 people there, so we had a longer conversation than you would at a 50-person networking event when you've got a minute to talk to someone. So we had one big conversation rather than 25 small conversations, and the range of topics we covered as well, which is quite incredible. We did the traditional business stuff, finding out what people businesses do, but because there was less was there, we moved on to specific things. We had a VAT conversation, which I admit, it doesn't interest me that much, but it's interesting to learn that there's people in Perth have these skills. We talked about the charity and stuff, and one of the people there is looking to become a member of the charity, so it's good that you have smaller groups but deeper conversations.
Yeah, and I mean, I just know him as Les VAT Advice because that's his Twitter handle. But Les, I mean, what he doesn't know about VAT is not worth knowing. I mean, he's and now, of course, with all the legislation changing and digital sales and different countries, business to consumer, business to business, it's an absolute minefield. But I thought it was quite fascinating. I mean, he did make what is quite a boring subject quite interesting, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's as probably fine if I start talking about the law, they go, it's quite boring, but I hope I make it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we had Rickmansworth on Tuesday, which was a move which confused a few people actually, because there were still people who turned up on the Thursday, not knowing that the event was actually on a Tuesday. And this is quite an important point. Please do book into events, because if you don't book into events, if there is an issue for some reason with running the event, we don't know who's coming, so we can't contact anybody. So it's really important that people do book in, because then at least we know kind of roughly how many people are coming, and also we can contact you if there's a problem. So yeah, that manifested itself. I found out today that some people had turned up on Thursday when we changed the date to a Tuesday. So
yeah, I mean, if you book in, it gives us, and it also gives the people who are also looking an idea of who's going to be there. Because the last thing you want is to see that no one's booked into the event. You go, so that means I'm going to be the only one there. But it also means that we can then sell the event to other people. So you can say, at this event there'll be 3 charities doing X, Y, and Z, 5 businesses doing a range of different matters, and we can find out the issue you need and find out the event. So if you need an accountant or someone specialising in VAT, today would be one of the best event for you. But if you turn up to the event, it may not be good for you, so you might not enjoy it as much.
Absolutely, absolutely right. I mean, while we're talking about events and charities, and we've been talking about the teams, is Catherine available? We could, because we could invite Catherine to join us.
I'll send a message.
Okay, drop her a message and see if she wants to come and join us. Because I know she's waiting in the wings. She did say that she would, she could potentially join us. So now, I mean, on to some other community. While you do that, because on to some other community news this week. The ice rink was open last Saturday. It was a bit of a wet affair, so I'm not quite sure much happened as far as the opening was concerned. It was 11 o'clock, I think, last week, but it seems. Excuse me, it seems to have been a bit of a success in the first week. I went, excuse me, I went along to have a little look at it earlier on today, and I took a little bit of video, and it's quite impressive. They've got like 3 sort of tent things there, which are people getting changed in and getting their skates sorted out. They've got things like a German sausage counter thing there, selling bits and pieces, and it looks pretty good. Have you been down there, Alex?
No, yeah, it's been one of those weeks. I've been in London for the 4 days, so today was the first day I've not been in London.
Right.
I was going to go on Tuesday because I came back and ended up the weather not being great, so I went down to Ocean Bells and had a coffee instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sheet of ice basically. I mean, they've basically created a proper frozen ice area, and you know, it's not massive, but it's quite a good size.
Yeah, from the pictures I've seen, it looks good.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether I'll be brave enough to get myself on there, but I probably wouldn't be able to stand up for a second. But there's some people on there that obviously know what they're doing. So anyway, that's going quite well. I haven't been down the market much this week, but earlier I did catch that, I think it was last Saturday where I was speaking to someone. They were saying that the opening hours are going to be extended on Thursday evenings until 8 p.m. In the 3 weeks running up to Christmas, which I presume is not this week, but the week following. And also the market is going to be open on a Sunday. Now, the stallholders are not going to be actually paying to have that additional the additional opening hours on a Sunday. But I spoke to two people today who are saying that they're definitely not going to be open on a Sunday. So it might well be that some are open and some are not, which would be a bit of a shame, but you can understand it. Opening 5 days already, a sixth day would be a bit of a step too far, perhaps.
You may want to introduce our new guest, Chris. Because I didn't want to interrupt, I wanted to let her finish, but I thought we need to introduce our guest.
Oh, okay, yeah, go for it.
For anyone who doesn't know, Catherine has just joined us. Come and say hello, Catherine.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Can you see me all right? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I just trying not to. Chris was going to talk about the market. I thought I can't interrupt now, but I really need to say something because Catherine was thinking they've invited us in here, but we're not doing anything. Come and say hello at least. So good to see you, Catherine.
It's fine. I'm happy waiting in the wings. Don't mind me.
Yes, hi, Catherine. I've just finished rambling about the market, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about the Michael Green Foundation and the success of the bus in the high street. But I'll just finish off about the market first, if that's okay.
No problem.
Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, the market traders, I suspect there'll be a take up of it, but I'm not quite sure what the percentages will be of the stallholders, which will be a bit of a shame because it will be almost like half open and half shut, which I'm not quite sure how well that'll work.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing people would want if that's the first time to see a half-open market, they go, is it always like this? Is it always this bad on Sunday, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evenings? I think it'd be a good idea, and especially with late-night shopping, that may be an option. Maybe on Thursdays have a slightly later start, but close early, so people work the same kind of time, but they kind of get, it's not longer hours, but it's just later to suit the kind of people in the high street at that time of night.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, I was up there earlier on today, and Elle's Kitchen has got their unit downstairs open now. There's next to them in what was a vacant slot, which is between Elle's Kitchen and the fish place. Not Aylesbury Fisheries, but Lee's fish store is now a hat stall. They're selling hats there, which is different. But anyway, there's a guy selling hats there, and then opposite there, you know, the Rhapsody place.
Mm-hmm.
Next to them is now a butcher, but I think selling halal meat.
Oh, that's good.
So a couple of developments down there. There are still two yet to open, I believe. But
I believe that one is going to come soon. There's one, according to the local paper. One is everything but one is still has gone. So there's one unit available.
Excellent. Well, so anyway, lots going on down there. I'll be continuing my video recording of different market stall holders tomorrow. I'm hoping to pick up another 3. I did Lynn's Sewing Box last week and the card stall, and I was going to do the Mandarin Kitchen, but they got a bit busy by the time I got to them, so that, which is good. So they said, could we delay that? I think I might end up with the same problem tomorrow, but I'll try and get them done early. And I'm going to do the guy that sells, the husband and wife team that sells handbags down there, and I'm going to do the scented candles lady who I primed the last week, and she's keen to do it as well. So there'll be some more going up on probably Sunday, which is excellent. So I'm getting round them slowly but surely.
Yeah, looking forward to some more.
Okay, Catherine, let's come back to you because it wasn't. Was it last week or was it the week before?
It was the week before.
Crikey, doesn't time fly? But so the Michael Green Foundation, which you're a trustee of, and it's a local charity, Watford-based charity, helping to raise the awareness of diabetes type 2. And you had in conjunction with Diabetes UK, you had a bus in the high street a couple of weeks back. So how did that go?
It was pretty fantastic, actually. The feedback from Diabetes UK was that it was an above average turnout for the day, which was really good. It was a fantastic location. In fairness, Diabetes UK did all the negotiation with Watford Council in terms of placement of where the bus could actually be. So they were very helpful in that respect. But they were busy handing out all the promotional items from the Michael Green Foundation on the day. Yeah, it was nice to have a presence. It was nice to see people getting on the bus. Good to see people actually thinking about their health, being referred to their GPs. I think it was 164 people that went on the bus, 54% of those were actually referred to their GPs. So it was good in terms of raising awareness of type 2 diabetes.
So is there any follow-on from that? Is there anything that's does that lead to something else now?
It does in terms of Diabetes UK. They actually follow up all the people that went on the bus. They follow up what happens to them next after they've been to their GPs and deciding whether or not they have further tests or whatever. What we're in negotiation with Diabetes UK about is actually having access to some of that information next time. This is something that we haven't actually banked on being quite so big and so successful. So next time we're in negotiations about having access to the data that was collected on the day, certainly in terms of local people who we can get involved in further events with the Michael Green Foundation, but also in terms of how people are doing health-wise generally as well, and sort of following up some of that, so that we can either help to keep in touch with them or put them in touch with the Diabetes Centre at Watford or support groups or whatever locally as well. So we're working on the follow-up contact for future buses, which we're hoping to roll out another 3 next year with any luck.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's something else that you're doing as well, because I'm connected with somebody that's actually helping you, which is Varsha Khatri. So in the new year, you've also got a multi-week program that's off, haven't you?
12 weeks. Yeah. 12-week program. It's
a little bit about that.
Yeah, Eat Fit is, you may see some of the flyers kicking around Watford. If you do, you can come along on the day and get £5 off the registration fee. It's £75 to register, or if you've got the sight of a flyer, then it's £5 off. It starts on the 12th of January, so a bang in time for getting rid of all that Christmas excess. You start an Eat Fit program in conjunction with Varsha at Illuminated Health. She's providing her knowledge and expertise regarding nutrition. She's also bringing another couple of ladies who will be able to talk about nutrition, food choices, and also a hypnotherapist approach to losing weight as well, which will be interesting. It's also in conjunction and being held at Everyone Active at Westminster Lodge in St Albans. As you know, the Michael Green Foundation charity founder is Joanna. She lives in St Albans, so that's her home ground. And Everyone Active there have very kindly loaned us a room free of charge where we can hold the classes. They will also have some of their gym instructors come down and talk to people. We'll be offering discounted gym memberships for those that attend the course as well. So very exciting stuff.
Excellent, excellent, and we're still talking as well about the HbA1c opportunity, and that's still going on. I know that Jeremy, who's talking with Kairos about the availability of that product, there's still water to go under that bridge, but it's definitely going to happen.
It is, yes.
Which would be really excellent.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. There's obviously 1 or 2 things still to iron out, but yeah, that's a very exciting thing to look forward to as well. Hopefully that will happen soon in the new year, once we've got all the details sorted out. But yeah, it's good.
And from a Link for Growth perspective, I'm really keen on assisting Michael Green Foundation in, like almost spreading the message far and wide, because it started in Watford, but diabetes type 2 is not a Watford illness. It does actually expand way beyond Watford. So
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, not by any means is it a local illness at all. It's you've only got to look at the news at the moment. It's all over the news. Whether it's about diets, whether it's about what you should and shouldn't be eating, whether it's about couch potatoes, whether it's about gastric band surgery, as we've seen last week and this week, with big pushes from what seems like a government source to actually start preventing people from being obese in the first place, rather than actually waiting until they've entered the NHS and trying to treat, patients at the other end of the scale. If we can prevent people from actually getting type 2 diabetes in the first place, then that's obviously the way to go. Or if they have type 2 diabetes, actually informing people that it can be reversed. It's not a lifelong condition. It doesn't have to be. So yeah, spreading the message far and wide is good.
Yeah, Richard Doughty, who's stepped up to be one of the Watford community reporters, he's an ex-Guardian journalist. He actually has reversed his diabetes type 2, so he's a big advocate of the capability through nutrition of improving your health. And it's, I don't think realistically anybody in the country chose to be obese or chose to eat a poor diet. It's kind of happened because of the way society has led itself down that path. So we must be able to make the same kind of adjustments, which instead of leading people down the obese path, lead them to the healthy path.
Absolutely, absolutely, and just by getting people out of the house occasionally is good as well. Even if they're just going to go and have coffee with some friends, it's it's about getting people active again. It's about thinking about lifestyle and also looking at what's going on in the community. There are so many opportunities for getting involved in something these days, whether it is the gym, but I mean, let's face it, a lot of people hate the idea of a gym, but just get out and go for a walk in the park. There are lots of organised walks for all ages, there's a wealth of opportunity out there. It's tapping into local press, local community resources like Link for Growth, spreading the word about what's going on locally to get involved in things. And yeah, changing lifestyle just a little bit at a time, just a few changes here and there can make a huge difference.
Absolutely right. And I mean, speaking of charities, there was another event that we were involved in, which happened a week last Thursday, which you were at, Alex, but I unfortunately was stuck in Colchester, but which was a Watford Women's Centre wine tasting evening. How did that go, Alex?
It was really good. I mean, we had 45 people there, really good. I had the pleasure of having the evening with Nick and Catherine and their friend, which was a really good evening, and a weird mix of people. There's often people that work in the Women's Centre, there's people from Link for Growth who come along, and then people that want the other and picked up through other sources. I met Diane maybe at networking events, so there's lots of different people there, and it's good to talk to them as well.
I heard through the grapevine today that as long as the match funding comes in, then it will have resulted in a £1,400 contribution to the Watford Women's Centre, which is much needed income.
Yeah, I haven't seen the figures yet, but I would imagine it'll be something around those lines.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So well done to everybody that went there, and I did pay for my ticket. I just didn't get to drink any wine, which was a bit of a shame. But
and of course, the wine was provided by Julia from in St Albans, her shop Flagship Wine. She's a part of Link for Growth as well. So it's good to see kind of people at Link for Growth working together. She provides a wine, and we kind of help organise, bring the two together.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, on another subject entirely, we talked about Christmas lights earlier and the fact they've all been switched on, but there was one that I picked up in the Watford Observer, and in fact Paul Roberts brought it to my attention yesterday, which was this house over in Croxley Green in Baldwin Lane or somewhere over there. I don't know whether you've seen that story, have you?
I think I have, and I'll see if we can share the picture for the viewers if anyone hasn't. I'm not sure how I can do that. Is it better if you did it or I do it?
Well, give it a go, Alex. I'll carry on the talking until you get rid of it.
Give me a minute and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so anyway, the story, it's an 81-year-old gentleman that's been, a guy called David Edwards, who's been essentially switching on these lights for a number of years now, and he's got like thousands of Christmas lights in his house, and he stages this Christmas light switch on, and there was apparently 800 or 900 people turned up on the 22nd. It was a couple of weeks back now, well, a week and a bit back, but they raised £800 on the night, but it goes on until the 4th of January, apparently, or 12th of January, I think the lights get switched off. Noah Collins was the beneficiary last year, and so he did the honours this year of switching on the lights. And the beneficiary this year is a chap called Jake Skinner, who needs some there's some much needed medical attention, which apparently can only be sourced in the USA. So hopefully some of that money is going to be used towards getting them over there for that. So that's a bit of good news. But Paul Roberts said that it's absolutely amazing light display, and I must go. He's taking some pictures which we haven't seen yet, but they'll be put up, I'm sure, on Google Plus imminently. But he said you've got to go along and see it for yourself because it's quite amazing.
Sounds good. I've not got the technology sorted, but I'll wait and see, and we'll direct everyone to the community, and when Paul puts the pictures up, we'll find them there.
Okay, no problem. I mean, just on the health thing, going back to the health thing, the Watford Hospital won a second award, they won an award. I don't know whether you can remember what the first award was for, but it was an award won.
What's her name? Samantha Jones voted Chief Executive of the Year, I believe. Catherine, you may know that.
Yes, she was. Yeah, voted Chief Executive of the Year for her outstanding work. It was mainly based around the communication skills that that she's instigated, particularly with these onion meetings that she has, which is very much a face-to-face thing and getting to grips with ground-level stuff, what's going on, and that's obviously what was needed.
Yeah. I mean, and that's fantastic news. I mean, Watford Hospital did have a bit of a reputation, and it's nice to see recognition of some excellent work that's been put in down there. It's all very easy to criticise and to lay blame and to look at the things that have gone wrong, but there's a lot going right down there as well, and all credit to her and her team. And what's happened is there's another award, which is a Compassion in Practice award, which has been awarded to Dr. Tammy Angel, and the Bluebell Award, which and I don't know what the Compassion award actually means, to be honest, but it's fantastic to see that the hospital is actually winning things, because it's unheard of, I think, in the past.
Good to hear good news.
Absolutely right. So I don't know, is there anything else, Alex, that you've spotted this week in or even you, Catherine, that you think's that people ought to hear about?
There's a children's Christmas thing starting at Watford Coliseum, I noticed. I think it's every day up until the 24th of December for ages 2 to 8. So, you know, it's a Christmas family fun with Santa Claus and everything. A little show going on at Watford Coliseum, which I thought was nice.
Is that the Watford for Watford thing?
Not sure, actually. It's being held in the Forum at the Coliseum, so it's not the main hall. I don't know actually who's organising it. I just assumed it was under the body of the Coliseum. Okay,
well that's good to know. So if you're in Watford, that's every day, is it that?
I think it is. Yeah, it's in the mornings. I think it's around about 10 o'clock in the mornings.
Excellent.
Sorry to jump in. I did notice, for anyone who hasn't noticed, the Santa's Grotto has moved this year. It used to be, I don't know if you guys knew, it was outside Marks and Spencer's. And we remember this year it's been moved down to where Waterstones was, so people were wondering where it is this year. It's now down towards Waterstones, built into one of the storefronts.
Where is it?
You know where Waterstones is, on the kind of where Waterstones was, which is now going to be a gourmet burger.
Oh, the burger van.
And but if you imagine coming out of Lakeland and turning left, and it's on that little precinct.
Ah, okay, good stuff. All right. I thought it was upstairs for some reason, but but you clearly know. I don't know. I've not.
No, I've been to see Santa in many years.
Yeah, the secret was almost out, wasn't it? There.
Let's not spoil it for anyone watching.
Okay, there's a couple of things to just mention. The Southwest Herts newsletter is imminent. It's been written. It's in production. So if it hasn't gone out, you expect that dropping into your mailboxes either later today or first thing on Monday morning. And next week we've got the coffee event at the Regis on Wednesday, starting at 10 in Clarendon Road. So that's opposite the
Magistrates Court.
Basically the courts, magistrates courts. Yeah, thank you, Alex. And then on Friday we've got the Xmas CSR luncheon at Scottsbridge Mill. So I went along to the Watford Three Rivers Trust launch of their I don't know what you call it really, but it's where they're trying to build bridges between business and community. I don't know how often they're intending to run those things, but what we're doing with the CSR luncheon is basically creating a vehicle for a regularity and people being able to participate and get involved in CSR, because that stands for corporate social responsibility, getting people together to help build those bridges on a regular basis, so that at least there's something that people know is going on constantly in the background. So if you fancy coming along and being part of that, then please do. I think the email went out this morning for that, and there's a good few, and I picked up some new contacts from new charities, about 15 or 16, doing the speed networking at that event. So that was good. So if anybody out there who runs a charity or has been involved in charities, do let us know, because we do definitely want to help support and raise the profile of all the local independent charities in the Southwest Herts district. So that's it. That's for me. I'm done. Anybody else for anything?
Nothing more from me.
Nope, I'm done.
Fantastic. Well, thanks ever so much for joining us, Catherine. And
pleasure. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Well, I've got a confession to make, Catherine, and that is that you have probably thought to yourself, where on earth has Chris put that video that he did of Joanne? Well, I accidentally deleted it.
Don't! No!
And having been...
have to do another one.
Having been bigged up, so when Chris got that elusive interview with you, I thought, no, how am I ever going to be able to admit this? But I actually didn't.
Well, now you just have live on air.
Well,
you needed doing again anyway, because I think halfway through, Jeremy barged through and disrupted things, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but yeah, that's the beauty of this. It's all very, very unscripted. But yeah, I need to do that again now. So I'm just letting you know. I'm sorry about that.
We shall figure something out.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me, Alex. It's been good to catch up and good to see you again on here. And for everybody else, we'll be here again same time next week. And thanks for watching.